Howdy everyone, happy International Peace Day. So today is Saturday, September 21st, and we are here at the United States Institute of Peace for their open house celebration, which is also a period where they reflect on peacekeeping efforts that they help around the world, and then also a chance for folks to interact with the staff that work at the USIP in various different peacekeeping scenarios, which is amazing. So we are at the bottom floor of the USIP building, and if you've never been here before, it is a very interesting building to look at from the outside. And then I'll also kind of like, when we walk through everything together, I'll show you like what I mean. It's like very deceptive because like, I swear, like you look on the outside and you don't think it's going to be like half as big, and then you kind of like walk inside and there's there's two major floors, I think. So we are on the bottom one right now. And so we are at the United States Institute of Peace, and so let me show you their logo really quickly because it's pretty cool. Let me flip this around. I don't have unfortunately I don't have the tripod with me, which sucks because you're not allowed to bring that in here, but this is the United States Institute of Peace logo and a little bit of history. So for those of you who don't know, you probably can't read that because it's like too small, but the USIP is an independent, nonpartisan organization established and funded by Congress, which is very interesting because they're not a think tank. They are an independent, nonpartisan institute, which is very interesting. So they were founded, I think, in 1984. I forget by who, does it say? So founded in 1984, the Institute advances the field of international conflict prevention, management, and resolution. So they have, I was listening to the panel that they literally just had, and they have 28 USIP offices, I think, around the world. And then the DC one, which is where I'm standing in right now, is kind of like the nerve center of like all of their operations with different kind of areas. So it's pretty cool because they train professionals, empower others with knowledge, with skills and resources to educate the public about the challenges and importance of peace building. So it's pretty cool. We have a whole institute, which is not also, so it's not a think tank. So I thought USIP was a think tank, but they're not, which is interesting. They are an independent institute. So without that, it's very interesting. So on the bottom floor, we have art exhibits, which I will just like walk you through around. We have the main hall, which is where the panel of experts were talking about their different peacekeeping operations. So for example, there was one expert who was an environmental peacekeeping expert, and she was talking about how climate change threatens international peacekeeping efforts because, for example, let's say like you're an island nation, your home is swallowed up by the sea, and then you're completely displaced and you're a climate refugee. So that's part of the work that she focuses on in different scenarios like that. So I will walk you through and you can see the different artworks. place feels like the closest thing that I can compare it to is basically a very modern design airport. I swear. So I've been in a couple of like international airports on like adventures before, and just the architecture reminds me of the Singapore International Airport, actually, with kind of like the grandiose, overarching like hallway, the very like sleek and like modern design with like the color. Like if you take a look, like all of this is painted white, and then they use like a marble floor kind of tiling as well, which is very interesting when you think about that. It reminds me a little bit of Singapore, like the airport, with how clean it is, and just primarily just with like the ceiling. So if you can, there we go. So look at that. It's literally like an overarching ceiling with a lot of like modern and sleek design. Maybe also it reminds me of a little bit Sydney Harbor as well, which is very interesting. But anyway, so this is the U.S. Institute of Peace. I've walked you through the lower half, which is pretty cool. And they had different art exhibits, which I also kind of walked you through, kind of showcasing their peacekeeping operations like all over the world. We are on like the first floor right now, which is like kind of like the main area. I won't like walk you through kind of like these are conference rooms, so like there's really like no point in showing you that. The view is spectacular, so like it's amazing to me that like they have this literally, it's a 15-minute walk from the Foggy Bottom metro stop in DC, which is pretty cool. And then that's the view literally like right outside. But yeah, that's a pretty cool like vlog to be able to like kind of show y'all like the U.S. Institute of Peace, and then just kind of like talk about peacekeeping operations like around the world. As you can tell, they get like a lot of like natural sunlight which like goes through the windows, which is pretty cool. And it can get like quite warm, honestly, like here. So, and then in the distance, like they have offices with other employees as well. So like, for example, over there, that's where like all their offices are, which is like super cool. And so as a reminder, the U.S. Institute of Peace, it's I want to say a nonpartisan independent institute, and it's funded from Congress directly, which is very interesting. Of course, as you can imagine, depending on which political administration takes power, I'm assuming the level of funding either goes up or down. It depends. So, but that is the U.S. Institute of Peace. I hope you enjoyed their open house, and I will see you soon for the next event that I get invited to, or the next open house for another event. I'll see you soon. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos. See you around.